Too many people try and run before they can walk when it comes to property investing. I've been guilty of this myself. After this video, you've not got an excuse, especially when I'm going to give you a 3-step system to avoid it. Hi guys, I'm Jim. Along with my brother, I've got a small property portfolio as well as a business which helps investors build their own portfolio completely hands-free in the northwest of England. This channel is going to document what it's like on the ground being a property investor day to day. So if that sounds like a bit of you, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Where do the best returns come from in property? By investing in an asset over the long term. Now, I believe this is one of the overarching principles which property investing teaches people. However, most people get stuck here. They try and rush the process. Now, over the last 12 months, I've had loads of conversations with investors that have gone something like this. So what's your top priority then? Cash flow or capital appreciation? Well, I want somewhere where the prices are going to go up over the long term, but I also need to be making money every single month. Now, I completely agree with the investors when they say this, because the two foundations of property investing are cash flow and capital appreciation. However, this next bit is where it gets a bit complicated. Sounds spot on to me. What strategy do you want to use to achieve this? Well, I want to start off with a really solid buy-to-let portfolio, but then I've got a friend of mine who does Airbnb and she seems to make money hand over fist, so I wouldn't mind doing that as well. But then I've also got one of my kids is in uni and I wouldn't mind getting involved into student HMOs as well. But the other thing is I'm actually pretty risk averse, so I might just stick with the buy-to-lets. But last week I did a webinar on commercial conversions, so I wouldn't mind doing some commercial projects as well. So if you could just find me all of them, that'd be great. Surely it's not just me who sees the issue with this. People get overwhelmed by every single property strategy and end up wanting to do everything at once. Now, this is called analysis paralysis, and this is what you want to avoid at all costs. Now, let me tell you a little secret. Every single property investing strategy has its pros and cons, even when compared with the other ones. You can 100% make some fantastic money from running an Airbnb, but it's a full-on business. It's not passive and you need to be involved in it all the time. Buy-to-let definitely is the most passive of all the investment strategies, but you make the least amount of money. Again, HMOs, you can make some really good cash flow, but there's more regulation and legislation you need to abide by, as well as there's more management day to day as well. The way I like to think about these people is using a principle called inversion thinking, which was popularized by the late great Charlie Munger. Now sit there and think about it. If you didn't want to achieve anything in property investing, what sort of steps would you take? You'd be like the investor I spoke to. You'd try every single property investing strategy at the same time, which would result in you not taking any action because you're overwhelmed, and you'd probably be always perpetually waiting for the perfect time to invest. But good job, you're not that person. This isn't that place, so make sure you subscribe for more actionable property investing content. So what should you do to avoid this error? Well, that's the beautiful thing about inversion thinking. We just do the opposite of all the stuff which wouldn't get us any results. And in order to do that, we need a robust system. And I've created the triple guard system to make sure we never ever go near analysis paralysis again. Step 1, getting clear on your strategy. Now, it can be a challenge investing in property around the full-time job, and typically that's where most people start out. So you need to have a clear strategy. If your time's limited because you work full-time, you need to make sure you get high ROI on the time you do spend on your property investing business. And this is where your strategy is going to pay dividends for you. Now, generally, my advice to most people is to start with a basic buy-to-let portfolio. Think about the first 3 years of your property investing business as your apprenticeship, as you build up your buy-to-let portfolio. You're going to learn so much throughout this period in terms of finding deals, managing the refurb, and then passing them on to ongoing tenancies. Personally, I believe you can't jump straight into commercial conversions. This is a sophisticated property investing strategy, and I think cutting your teeth growing your own buy-to-let portfolio is the perfect way to build up to these strategies. Now, of course, there's going to be unique situations where people could jump into the more sophisticated property investing strategies. Now, this might be because they're a builder or the day-to-day job is in with commercial property. Now, these people might be able to jump in, but generally, for most people, I think the best place to start is building a solid buy-to-let portfolio. If you guys are interested in learning about how to build a multi-million-pound property portfolio over the long term, then I've got a free guide for you. It's the exact system we use, and it also will work perfectly if you've still got a full-time career. So I'll drop the link to that in the description below. Before we move on to step 2, just remember, your strategy is your North Star. You need to come back to this every single time you get the itch and shiny penny, because you might be at a networking event and speak to someone about serviced accommodation and they're making X thousand a month. But you need to just focus on building the core, basic buy-to-let portfolio so then you can scale up down the line. Step 2, taking action. So now you've got your strategy, which is actually the easy part. It's just making a decision. You actually need to start taking action, which is the difficult part. So I'm going to list a few things you can do to make progress in your property investing journey. Now, I've assumed that the person doing this is going to be super new to property investing and has no experience. What I would do is pop along to every single property investing network in your area and find someone in your local area who's buying buy-to-let properties and currently doing refurbs on them. Now, what I do with this person is offer to work for them completely free on one of the refurbs. Now, let me tell you, no property investor is going to turn down free labor. There isn't a chance. So you're going to pop along to the refurb and do some general laboring, maybe a bit of painting, some stripping wall, wallpapers and all that sort of stuff. But the real key thing here is you're going to get time with the property investor, and you really want to drill into the details about how they find the deals, how they finance the deals, and the sort of level of refurb they're doing. And you'll be able to glean loads of information from them which is specific to your local area. Now, all this information is going to be real instead of theoretical classroom-based stuff, because you'll be asking them about the specific deal which you're working on with them. Now, obviously this process can take a couple of weeks, if not months, but I try and do this multiple times, maybe over a 6-month period, to build up the knowledge base and also the contacts within your local area. Once you've done this, it's really simple. You need to start going viewing stuff and applying all the stuff you've learned from the hands-on experience on the refurb. Fingers crossed you've got more of a grip on how to price up a refurb and do the numbers on a property deal. So what you need to start doing now is doing loads and loads of viewings and running the numbers on them and start making offers. Then it's just about leveling up the number of viewings you're doing, the number of offers you're making, and then you'll eventually get a deal over the line. Now, I appreciate what I've just said there sounds super simple, but it's actually the hard part about property investing, and it's where most people run out of steam. So if you can stay disciplined and consistent, this is where you'll see real gains in your property investing business. Now, alternatively, what you could do is you could pay for a mentor or maybe pay to do a property investing course. Now, I've done both of these things, and I will preface this by saying these people can't do the work for you. They can only offer you advice. So even if you pay for these people, then the results might not be guaranteed. You still need to go out there and do the hard work. You might just have more of a sounding board to bounce ideas off or ask questions to. It's also worth considering if you've only got a small pot to invest into your first buy to let for your deposit and your refurb, paying for a mentor or a property course might take 20, 30, even 40% of this pot and wipe it away. So you need to think long and hard about paying for a mentor or a property investing course before you do it. Step 3 is waiting for the perfect time. Simply, to get returns out of the market, you need to be in the market. So here's another secret. Some people wait for the perfect time, and let me tell you, there isn't one. People will always make excuses about why they can't invest into property. It could be the economy, it could be a pandemic, war in Ukraine, interest rates, inflation, Brexit. There will always be a reason to not invest. Similarly, it might be your family. Kids might be starting secondary school, might have a big holiday coming up, you might want a new car. There's always going to be a reason to not invest. It's super easy to get trapped into this mindset because most people have it. But if you do that, you're never going to achieve anything. Of course, don't buy property deals that aren't going to make you money, but you need to be active in the market. If you sat there waiting for someone or the news to tell you it's a good time to invest into property, well, first off, that's probably never going to happen. And if it did, well, it'd be too late because everyone would be doing it. So get in there, hold for the long term, and this is where true wealth is actually built. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. The link for the multi-million-pound property guide is in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.